life. It says, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. I tell you, in that night there shall be 2 men in one bed, 2 men in one bed, the one shall be taken, the other shall be left. 2 women shall be grinding together, the one shall be taken, the other left. 2 men shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, the other left. And they answered and said unto him, Where y'all? Where are he? And he said unto them, Wheresoever the body is, there will the eagle be gathered together. And again, Yeshua was giving an example how it was to be back. He's been an example as the days when it was perverse during Noah and Lot. The days right now will be perverse when Yeshua comes back. Same type. So I want y'all to imagine how the perverseness was going during Noah and Lot. Imagine what the perverseness is now. You know, just imagine. It's not really wicked. It was like you said, it was in the closet. Now they're coming out. And now they said, a couple of years last week, they said their first governor is a gay governor in Colorado. And he's letting now all drugs legal. You know, marijuana's legal. They let the bad drugs that I went to jail for, like cocaine and heroin, they become misdemeanor. They're felony. I got felonies for them, but now they're misdemeanor. I don't understand that. So, you know, how the land is getting perverse, wickeder and wickeder. You know, and a lot of things going on. Mauling, the gun shootings, people dying, people just taking all kind of guns, just going in Walmart and just shooting up everybody in Walmart, going in the clubs and shooting everybody up, going, you know, and just going all out. In schools, how the perverse and how the evil is. He says, remember these things because we already know Yeshua is coming back. We already know Yeshua is coming back. A couple more scriptures. Let's go to 2 Peter. Second Peter chapter 2. For there are false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who probably shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying Elohim that brought them, and bringing to themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And that's what's going on right now. The way of truth is evil spoken of. False prophets. They are perverse. They're doing the same thing they're doing in Sodom and Gomorrah, but now they're prophets of Yah. And they're denying the way that Yeshua them brought down. They're denying that. And they're speaking their own words. Their pernicious ways. And through covetousness, they shall with friends' words make merchandise of you. And that's what they're doing now. All these pastors on Sunday, boy, they're making millions and trillions of dollars off of people, off their words. Judges now a long time linger not in their damnation, stumble not. For if Yah spare not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be revealed into judgment, and spare not the old world, but saved Noah the 8th person and preacher of righteousness, bringing the flood upon the world on the ungodly, and turning the city of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning with the overthrown, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. And people forgetting that scripture. What about now? They live ungodly. The things that y'all did for the Noah and Lot, they were examples for us today. There are examples for the ungodly. If you perverse, you're ungodly. If you're evil, you're sinning, you're ungodly. If you're doing things that are not of Yah, you're ungodly. They're perverse. And you had examples back in the Old Testament telling you, don't do these things. Fire, brimstone. Y'all destroyed the whole world with water. Everything that had breath of life that lived on land, he destroyed. Only 8 persons were saved through the ark. That was it. That was it. For that righteous man, verse 8. Verse 7, deliver just Lot, vexed for the filthy communication of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexes righteous soul from day to day when they with their unlawful deeds. Elohim know how to deliver the godly out of temptation and to preserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. Now I'm talking about reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh and the lust and uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil dignities. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before Elohim. But this, a natural brute beast, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spot they are and blemishing, sporting themselves with their own deceiving, while they feast wickedly, having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin. Think about it, cannot cease from sin. Mind evil, and heart evil continually, a heart evil is continually, cannot cease from sin. Beguiling unstable souls, that's bad. And hearts they have exercised with converse practice, cursed children, which have forsaken the right way and are gone astray, following the ways of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of righteousness, but was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. And I want y'all, if you get a chance, go to Numbers chapter, I think it's chapter 21, 22, and read that story after y'all told about do not go. You know, because they came to curse the children of Israel, which he God on bless. He told them not to go, but since he went, you know what I'm saying, he had the ass told him he was supposed to die, but when he told him to go, because he caused the children of Israel to be reversed. He set a way where the children of Israel where somebody could reverse the children of Israel. And that's why he told him not to go. You get a chance to read that. But I'm going to start right, well, you get a chance to read the whole, continue reading chapter 2. Read about that. You get a chance, I'm going to go one more verse. You get a chance to write down 2 Timothy chapter 3, read all about that. Talk about wicked pastors, perverse pastors. And the last verse we're going to Jude chapter 4. I told you, Brother Fader, man, you was all in my sermon, man, last night. We saw I know I was on the right track. You was all in my sermon last night. I said, yo, he went to Jude, man. He used the whole Jude. I know it's Jude's only one book and one chapter, but you used the whole thing, man. You was quoting my verses left and right, which was good. I thank y'all. Yeah, I was in tune with you rocking this, you know. All right, verse 4, excuse me. For there are certain men crept in unawareness, who were before old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of Yah unto lasciviousness, and denying the only Elohim Yah, and our Elohim Yeshua Mashiach. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Elohim, having saved the people out of the land of Mizraim, after destroyed them that believe not, we already know what happened to the children of Israel, that the next generation went into the promised land, because 40 years they worked in the wilderness, and there's one, he said, how can I deal with these people that took me these 10 times? You know, and he said, since you don't believe me, then your sons and your daughters will go into the promised land, and you will die in this land for unbelief. And again, I'm trying to say the same thing, with the same thing with the memorial of Lot. Lot's wife, unbelief. When he's talking about your heart, their heart, with the children of Israel, their heart was still in Mizraim. They kept on saying, then we have bread and onions and garlic and fish and cucumbers and Mizraim and stuff like that. That's where their heart was. And y'all was giving them manna. Y'all was giving water out of the rock, and y'all gave them quail. You know, y'all kept on feeding them, blessed them. They ain't made it to the promised land, but they kept on putting their heart in Egypt. which was bondage, was slavery. The same thing. The same thing with Lot's wife. They was a perverse, wicked kingdom. Saw the 5 cities that they said. You know, and that's where Lot's wife was at. That's where her heart was still in bondage and wickedness over there. She was probably in that wickedness too. I don't know. That's where her heart was at. That's what y'all's telling about us right now. That's why I shared with you from the beginning with the origin of this perversion. And y'all, since y'all gave us the Torah, he gave us the way, and he gave us the Rock of Dish, and he gave us the Shua HaMashiach to cleanse our soul, and he gave us a way to keep our mind clean, that we don't have to be perverse. We don't have to go back to that land over there. And since we're in a perverse nation right now, a wicked nation, I call spiritual Babylon, this place is wicked. And we can come up out of here. We don't have to be like the people out there. We don't have to be like such and like them. We have a choice. We have a decision to make. Alright? That is the sermon today. I thank y'all for his word. I'm sorry for being so long, but that's what it is in here that we people can heard. I thank y'all for his goodness. TV Land, I pray that you got the message today. Anybody that sounded my voice does not know Yeshua, that have not been down in the water in Yeshua's name for remission of sins. You know, you got sin on you, you want to get it right, you get with me. We go to the Dabarim. Yeshua said you must be born again in the water and spirit. If you want to get in the kingdom, he said you should not even see the kingdom if you're not born again. He said water and spirit. So water is baptism. You must be your sins washed away. You get your sins washed away through Yeshua HaMashiach, but will baptize you. And he said, I will go with the scriptures. So all you got to do is believe, repent, and be baptized. Simple. Acts chapter 2:38. Okay. And all that. My pastors in Burundi, I say salutations to you, TV Land, salutations to all my pastors in India. Bless you, may y'all cool, bless and keep you. May y'all make a face shine upon you, be grace to you. May y'all make his country upon you, peace in Yeshua's name. May y'all make it right on the high place of earth, and feed your head to cold, head to Yosef, head to Abraham. For the mouth of y'all spoken, for the mouth of y'all spoken, for the mouth of y'all spoken, in Yeshua's name. Amen.